What's up guys and girls, Lazy Dragon here, and welcome to the Creators Collection, the weekly show about blah 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 blah. Kicking us off this week is Psychomachia. Not too sure why the L is capitalised, and according to the internet, a Psychomachia is a poem from the 5th century, written in Latin. Not too sure what these two things have in common. Why eternal poem? What does this have to do with the fighting game? And why is the game calling me the new noob? That's just rude, game. Honestly, this game raises so many questions. First of all, you've got all the issues with the title, then you've got a girl who's dressed like a Sailor Moon prostitute called Chastity, and then the tile of the game is just a person getting their head ripped off, flying away into space. Is that what happens after reading 12 hours of ancient Latin poetry? Your head just takes off into orbit? What the bloody hell is that? Bio-ant. That's just weird, that is.
Extra thick!
Props for the variety of characters. We've got a Digimon. We've got a really bad 11th Doctor cosplayer. We've got Sephiroth. They're not even trying to hide the likeness there, are they? They even called him Set. On one side of the battle we have a lawyer, on the other side we have the Battletoads, hopped up on so many steroids that they are now larger than the sun. This doesn't seem fair to me. Oh boy, YouTube's not going to be happy with me for this one. Adam's stage, complex Achilles, other words that would get you a lot of points in Scrabble. Okay, I guess we're starting that. Why do we have the Buster Sword that says Deuce OS on the side of it? Haha! Hadoken as well, sure, why not? Let's give this character everything. He's got guns, he's got the Buster Sword, he's got fireballs, he can apparently dislocate his own hip to kick people in the head. Haha! Take that, small child, as I hit you with a sword bigger than you are. Where are we even fighting? They said this is Adam's stage, but it looks like we're just in some random museum. Is this where Adam hangs out? Do people with comically oversized swords only live in museums and crappy art galleries? What is that girl doing? No, don't be doing upskirt shots. Nope, you are way too young for that. Don't want to be put on the naughty people list. Not gonna be joining Kevin Spacey on that one. No siree.
I didn't mean to kill you.
How are you moving your body like that? It's freaking me the fuck out. Seriously, you're like 12 years old. You should not be able to contort yourself in that way. Do we have super moves? Anything? Anything to stop the small child from flashing us again? I feel assaulted here. It's strange. I feel like I'm the one being assaulted just by having to watch this. Because the longer this fight goes on, the greater chance that some people with their sirens and their handcuffs are going to show up outside the door, and then things are going to end very poorly halfway through the recording. That's incredible. He dislocates his elbow every time he throws a punch. Look at it. He's got robot arms, just swinging round in a circle. Stop! No, stop that. No lap dancing routine from underage children. Is a sentence I should not have to say. Damn it, Creators Collection, what are you doing to me? Oh, what have I done now? Ah, my character says that I hate you, as we slice them in the face with a sword. I thought that'd be obvious. It's not that great as far as one-liners go. My name is Inigo Montoya, you killed my father. I hate you. Why does she sound like a wild animal when she gets hit? In fact, it's not even a wild animal. It's a sodding boat. She's signalling other boats. I don't like that. I'm very uncomfortable right now. I really do not want to be here. Let me just take a second to read the bios on these characters. Apparently the lady with thighs so thick she would put Chun Li to shame is a masterful NYPD officer. I'm honestly surprised she can get out of bed in the morning with her legs weighing that much. Adam Efriti is apparently the leader of Eternal. Don't know what any of that means, but I'm sure happy for the lad. The player one thing is covering half the words. What does that say? Pro-hostess. Hooray. It's not quite the same as leading Eternal, or dislocating your hips every time you try to get out of bed, but good for you. Madeline Frond, Dark Child possessing ES. I don't know what it says past the ES. I think the resolution's screwed up for this game, so I'm choosing to believe that ES stands for esports. That's where she's getting all of her power from promotions with Smite and League of Legends. Untamed Swordsman, and in this setting we are using Untamed in place of high as a goddamn kite. You remember the steroid-infused Battletoad we saw earlier? Apparently he's also invincible. This fighting game is getting more one-sided all the time. Why does the custom male look so depressed? Is it because his head is 3 sizes too small? I'd be depressed if my head was that tiny as well. Fuck! What is that pose? Is he halfway through a dance routine? Either that or is he trying to twerk but he's never seen it, he's only had people describe it to him. So you see, you bounce up and down and you gyrate your ass towards someone. Ah, of course, I, a perfectly normal human lawyer, know exactly how to do that. God, that he looks like a demented flamingo. Okay, we're armed with a stick and what appears to be an entire sun. Why? Oh, the lawyer can teleport. Because, of course he can. Why not? We live in a world where small children are apparently able to break their entire body in half just to do a high kick. Of course the lawyers can teleport. Yeah, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? I'm gonna kick out your shins. Oh. Oh no, we dislocated every bone in our body that time. Oh no, we're alright. As long as our underoos don't come off, we're perfectly fine. Of course, this still doesn't explain the tile. Because the tile of this game is a person's head being punched off, going clean into orbit. And my first thought was, maybe that's what happens after you read 12 hours of ancient Latin literature. Your head just gets so depressed it takes off into space. That's just going to cause a whole world of problems, especially if the body gets left behind. In one moment you're there, happy as can be, connected with your head, reading a bit of ancient poetry, the next, your head's launched off into space, and you're just standing in the garden going, well shit, now what am I supposed to do? And you can't exactly go up to NASA and go, hey lads, sorry to bother you, do you mind launching a rocket? I accidentally left something in the lower atmosphere. Of course, the entire time your head's floating around up there without a care in the bloody world. Meanwhile, you're in a DIY shop trying to get as many stepladders as possible, staple them together in order to go and retrieve your cranium. Which must look really weird to the poor checkout girl working in the DIY shop. You know, she was promised a quiet day. She doesn't want any trouble. No problems at all. And then in comes this disembodied body, just sprinting through the door, running down the aisles, waving its arms maniacally. You think it might be trying to talk, but of course it doesn't have a head because its mouth is currently in space. Sprinting around, pointing at the sky, angrily waving its fist, and trying to pull stepladders down off the shelves. You were promised a nice quiet day, but no, goddamn Tommy Torso made certain you can't get one of those. What with his damn ladder fetish. Wow, the Creators Collection really does a number on your sanity after a while, doesn't it? When I do eventually snap and end up in an asylum, which, let's be honest, has been a long time coming, I want everybody to write down the #1 cause of me being sent there was the Creators Collection. That's all. That's all you need to write. You can come and visit me in the padded rooms. I will have carved the word Creators Collection into each and every wall. Also, we apparently got beaten up by a lawyer who can break his own neck. The sad thing is that is not the strangest thing we've talked about in this video. Usually, there's 3 or so games in the Creators Collection. So far we haven't even got past 1. And it's been weird enough to last me for an entire week. Well, we re-rolled our portrait. And I have to say, this looks much, much better than it did before. Before it was just some trees and some grass. Now we've got two very stoned, very happy gentlemen enjoying each other's company. You can't see below their waists, but we can probably imagine that they are not wearing trousers. Wait, hang on. I clicked theatre. Now, what do we do now? Do we just go to the theatre with the character of our choosing? In which case I'm going with Little Miss Extra Thick. But why? The game gives you so many options, but none of them do anything. Also, whenever you press A, there's only like a 1 in 3% chance it works. Sometimes it goes off, sometimes it decides, you know what, I don't really feel like doing what you're asking. I'm glad there's a button in the menu that says the word eggs over and over again, just in case you forget what you need when you're baking a cake. Doesn't unlock any more extras, it just says the word over and over. Wait. Likes cooking, hates violence. What exactly is she doing in a fighting game then? It's even worse than we thought. The Sailor Moon cosplayer is actually 7.77 years old. We're all going to jail. It's like the playing cards where the King of Hearts looks like he's stabbing himself through the head with a sword. Except in this instance, it's two identical twins, fulfilling each other's suicidal wishes. Seriously, that cannot be comfortable for anybody involved. Well, no, this is just weird. It's like Super Smash Bros., but without any of the restraint or quality control. Or the fact that none of the characters in Super Smash Bros. Will send you to prison. See, this is the sort of policing I like. One guy pulls a gun and says, "Put down your weapon," and then gets hit in the head repeatedly with a fireball. If only every confrontation could be resolved this peacefully. With the other guy in flames, and me walking away giggling. And there you have it. It is entirely possible to win this game by just spamming Hadouken. Which is good, because that way you can't make physical contact with any of the underage characters, so you can't get arrested. I imagine that's the long-term plan for most of the fighters in this game. The moment you make physical contact with them, whoops, you're in jail. And with that in mind, I think it's time to end. Normally there'd be more games in the Creators Collection, but this one has, quite frankly, confused the fuck out of me. If you've got a game you'd like to see played on this channel, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. And until next time, farewell everyone.